Before I see the sun, I know the battle's won. When the rain has just begun, know the devil just lost one. Before this night is done, straight to you, Lord, I will run. A greater love, no, there is none. Yeah, the devil just lost one.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Ghosted series of the Faith Next podcast. In the previous episode, we had an honest conversation about the disappointment, anger, and fear that characterizes being ghosted by an all-knowing, all-powerful God. But we also explored how honest communication is appreciated by God and how He's able to handle our deep conversations. In this episode, we navigate the space between being heard and being answered. And with me again today is Ronique. Hey, girl.
Hello.
Okay, so nice to have you again. We're here for a little girls chat.
Thanks, boo.
To spill the tea.
Happy to be here.
Okay, so, pivoting off of last episode, you'd have picked up that I'm very passionate, about...
As you should. I didn't know you had it in you, but you should let it go.
I'm very passionate about this whole God, the all-capable God and, allowing a sinful world, right? And so just to start off being honest and vulnerable, for most of my life, if I saw God in person, I would murder him.
Oh, wow. Wow. We started
you feel the
off
same?
heavy. I wouldn't per se murder. I would faster be like,
What are you really doing?
and walk away, which I do with most relationships.
Okay.
That
don't make sense.
Yeah.
Agreed. Deleted, blocked.
I love to block.
Same.
So many people are blocked.
It's giving toxic.
It's giving consistent.
Okay.
It's giving, I'm gonna consistently block. Absolutely. You upset me 1, 2, I don't even give a strike 3, I just block. There are lots of people, they don't know I exist because I have blocked you.
As you should.
As I should.
I don't know if I should be encouraging you, but maybe that's one of the podcasts.
True. True. This is a spiritual podcast and we're encouraging
Reconciliation.
healthy traits.
Correct. Yes. Now that we have given that disclaimer.
Correct.
Okay, so how do you normally navigate the space between, putting out your request to God and then, silence? What is your MO?
Currently,
Or even in the past?
let me start with the past and then I'll do now. Casting out my request to God has been, just like Curtis said in the last episode, it's been very mail order. It's like, so you said you would, so I'm requesting this, and I would list it off and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm happy with that. There was a time I used to physically list my requests on paper.
Okay.
If you know me, you know I love to write. If you want to ever get me a gift, get me a journal. It's simple, it's easy. I will always appreciate something to write in because I write consistently. I would go through 6, 7, 8 journals a year. So that was my way of communicating with him.
Okay.
And when I got silence, I'm like, oh, really? That's what we doing? Say less. You don't want to talk, but I don't want to talk either. You want to be silent? I can be silent too. Big up you one time and big up me because we're going to be silent together. And that was my response because I feel like there should be, for example, if you're talking to someone and it's about something serious. I mean, I know I have a problem recently with responding to messages in a timely fashion because I am overwhelmed by the number of messages I do get. However, if someone says, hey, I really need you, or hey, I would really like your input on something, I think that there's a timely fashion in which you should respond. Do you know? You can't wait 6 weeks and be, hey, I just got your message.
I'm already dead.
I'm dead. So in the past I responded very poorly and it was very a tit for tat. So it's like, you want to be silent? I'll be silent too. But now I see God's silence, and this has come with increasing spiritual maturity in understanding His sovereignty, in understanding His intent, and in understanding that His impact may not always come in my timing. Understanding His timing versus my timing has been an important factor in me understanding that His silence does not mean He's against me. And I have things that I, would associate with trauma, and I have things that I am currently seeking various types of therapy for. But I do understand that when it comes to God, this is someone who literally can take account of every hair on my head every morning.
And so
Every morning.
And so you decided to trust him.
More or less. So his silence is something I'm like, okay, I'm not following, but you probably told me something before, like wait, or go here.
Right.
You didn't tell me why, you didn't tell me what I'm doing, but you did give a something.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna rock with that. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not clear. I don't have a lot of control here, but I'm just gonna
Roll with the punches.
more or less. So how about you?
For me, upon reflection, I would have, pinpointed 5 ways in which I normally, very toxic ways in which I respond to God being silent. 1, anger.
Oh wow.
I hate God, I hate being human, and I hate life, and I hate me. Okay, anger. The second one is passivity, where I'm like, whatever happens, happens. I trying, God not taking me on, so well, I might as well just live my life. And then there's stoicism, where okay, life is hard, life is full of suffering. I will try to have no feelings. I will be quiet and I won't complain. There's also relinquishing agency, where I'm like, nothing has an impact. So, why should I even try? And the last one, which I've been using for a long time, I just goes God. You're not talking to me, I'm not talking to you. We're both not talking to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fair is fair.
Exactly.
1 + 1 is 2.
Because again, pivoting off of the last episode, I am speaking to you from a place, from my perspective of I'm deeply hurting and you have chosen not to respond. However, I don't think that is the best way or the best approach to deal with the season of doubt, because I think it's a space where the devil has a lot of surface area to work with.
Yeah.
Because he goes, well, look at your almighty God not doing anything for you. You sure you're on the right side?
Yeah.
You're on the silent side, But, and so I guess in your mind, what do you think are some of the drawbacks of using such approaches during that season?
Well, from listening to yours, anger is not something I think we acknowledge, but it's a very real feeling like, why are you not answering me? I am crying out to you. And I recall in previous relationships, whether they be platonic or I guess romantic, that's the best word to use, romantic. And you feel like you're crying out to this partner and it's like, am I speaking to a brick? Am I speaking to a brick
Might
wall?
as well.
Because I might as well. And literally it comes to the point where you would do almost anything to get this person's attention. And for those who are very mental health in tune or who understand what it's like to decline, to say the least, it sometimes will come to the point where you almost want this person to see you. So you want to scream at the top of your lungs. I won't scream on camera. Let me not do that. I was about to, but let me not. Because, this is social media, and I'm sure you have on some headphones somewhere.
My damaged hearing.
And, I care about your eardrums. I do.
Hallelujah.
I do. I care about your auditory health. So to maintain that, I won't scream, but I don't know if you've ever felt like screaming.
I scream into my pillow sometimes.
That's healthy.
You're just gonna let it out.
I scream outside of my workplace, not in it because that's cause for...
Yeah, it might be a bit traumatic for those around.
Yep, but when I leave, I absolutely do.
Yeah, a little silent scream.
But these things, they're not the healthiest approach, I would say, like anger, because ideally as Christians, we're supposed to trust God. And when you feel like someone, but then you have to understand from a human point of view, imagine you're texting somebody, a messaging somebody, and this person has, this person has seen your message. Come on. This person posting statuses, this person sending voice notes to whoever right next to you, and you are not getting a response. It's like, am I speaking English?
Am I a joke?
Français? Is it Espanol? What am I speaking? In a human state, what are you supposed to do? So the approaches might not necessarily be healthy per se for you as the individual, but it's very natural.
It is.
And I think that in the church, I'm so sorry for the older heads, apologies. We convince younger people that trusting God looks a certain way, and baby, it really doesn't. Everybody's walk is so individual and so special, yet some of the things that we express are also very relatable. Because screaming in your pillow, I've screamed too at God. The tit for tat, is I think very common, because that's what caused me to drift away from church. I'm like, so you're not listening. I promised myself I would never open my mouth to sing in an Adventist church again. I made that vow. I'm never singing in a church again. For what? Yeah, not saying I would go and sing out loud, me Beyonce. Not that, but I was very committed to never singing in a church again. I was content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't get my voice. Right. You want my gift?
After you
gave me this gift and then you want it, but then you're not going to listen to me?
Yeah.
But what does that say about us, the toxic responses?
I mean, toxic. Sorry.
That was so deep, though.
I guess it would say that it will speak to the underlying, I guess, pain, hurts, and disappointment, which is fair. However, I guess we are called to not always operate from that place, which can be difficult. And in my experience, just again reflecting, using those methods would have resulted in, sometimes like the Israelites remaining in the desert, in a dry place.
Dry place.
For longer than you should have, because although doubt should be a temporary place as opposed to your final resting place. And when you're in that state, I think people sometimes think that you rebel against God or you hate authority, but sometimes it can come from the disappointment associated with God.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make it any better, because in that state you have a proclivity towards pain-numbing activities like drugs.
Anything to get through it.
I'm not saying I use drugs, guys. I'm just speaking in general.
We're not promoting illicit.
I'm just speaking in general.
Woo! Lots of disclaimers. Right? We're not promoting illicit drug use.
But you could turn to drugs. You can turn to to sex. You could turn to anything.
God forbid.
No, but we're being real, right? Some of these things, we are driven to kind of drown out the hurts that we feel, right? And then we continue to make bad decisions, and that multiplies our problems. And so one of the questions in the prompt speaks to why should we hold on, or why don't we give up? Why shouldn't we give up? What causes us to continue to hold on even if we don't feel like it or it doesn't make sense?
I relate this to a relationship. Like, why do so many women stay in relationships that they shouldn't? Oh, I'm in somebody's business. But no, why do we hold on to things that maybe we shouldn't? Because there's always a level of hope. Yeah, there's always a small slither of something within us that leads us to believe somehow, some way, if I give this enough time, if I put in enough effort, if I'm good enough, this is going to work out for me, right? Sometimes stepping away does not seem beneficial. You may have reasons to stay. I have been in the church for the past 25 years. My time can't be wasted. Do you know what I mean? A lot of women stay in relationships because of kids. I put down seed with you. Me not leave you. Okay, me not pick up and me not take me picnic and then me not go nowhere. Because where am I going with my children? But with God, a lot of times, a lot of young Christians especially is like, what am I holding on to? I have a judgmental church. Yeah? You, God, not even listening to me and any of the prayers that I have. And to be honest, like a side note, a lot of our prayers are very valid. God, I'm depressed. Can you please give me relief? That is a valid prayer. That is a valid request from a great, great God. Lord, I'm suffering financially. Can you please? And some people not even asking for $1 million.
Yeah.
They're not even asking for the money. They're asking, Lord, can you please pay my rent this month?
The basics of life.
The basics. Do you know what I mean? Things that people shouldn't have to ask for.
Correct.
is what they're asking God for. And it's like the month would come, eviction notice. And you're like, really? So 3,600 TT is too much for you. You walk on gold,
The
sir.
cattle upon 1,000 hills.
You walk on gold, sir. When you get up in the morning, you take off your fuzzy slipper on gold. What is happening? Do you know what I mean? And 3,600 TT dollars is beyond you. And those things are hurtful. And it really comes down to, why am I holding on? But for the Christian who has been raised in the fear and understanding of God, it's almost as though, Lord, I know this is not it. This is not the final.
Right.
It cannot be the final. Because your word said otherwise. And I feel like a lot of us hold on because we want to see the fruition. We want to see the end. We are stepping in faith, hoping and praying that what he said truly is true. And that we didn't waste all this time sitting up in a church, offering services, spending time for nothing. It can't. For me, my personal experiences, all of this cannot be for nothing. And I took it from my father, because I'm like, Lord, my father could not have sacrificed all of his years in ministry and is nothing. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. My father grew up dirt poor and stepped into this realm of Adventism, of Christianity. And he based his entire foundation on you. You have to exist.
Okay.
And you have to do what you said you would do. Otherwise, you really needed not write nothing. You really needed not write nothing, say nothing, do nothing, because then essentially you would be a liar, and you said you don't lie. And that is kind of what held me over. To not come out of the toxic traits per se, because I'm not all the way there.
Right.
But where I am in my Christianity now, there's really nothing you could tell me to make me doubt God. And that's because of my experience so far.
Okay.
Because I've seen God do some things and I'm like, okay, I understand. Apologies. Humble apologies, dear Lord, for being so rude. I didn't mean to be so assertive. And I understand that your version of alacrity perhaps is not mine. So thank you so much for not chopping my neck off.
When you were rude.
When I was rude, because I clearly, audience, you can see I have a little attitudes, a little personality, and the Lord could have very well strike me right down. Do you know? It's given Sodom and Gomorrah / Ronique.
Okay.
You know?
Well, slash Ronique. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He blew them up. He could have blown me up.
True. Okay.
He didn't.
Well, for me personally, I think, when I reflected, this is the third time I'm saying this.
You reflect a lot, baby. Love that for you.
And I asked myself, why should I continue to hold on to God and, continue on this faith journey? I asked myself, what has characterized my journey so far? And I said, if you continue to employ these methods and just remain in a state of doubt, then you proceed through life with numbness, like a thoughtless, subservient being at the whims of fate and life. It's characterized by anger, anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation, and stagnancy, and a proclivity towards pain-numbing habits. It's essentially a life without peace.
More or less.
Right. And so
More or less.
the truth is, without God, it's not going to be too good. So you might as well hold on.
Hold on.
Keep the faith. Okay. So just wrapping up, to bring in Habakkuk, we look at Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4, which says, "Look at the proud, they trust in themselves and their lives are crooked. But the righteous will live by their faithfulness to God," right? And so I want us to just briefly look at what I call the doubt plan from a positive point of view of what are some things that we can do that can really help us in a constructive way to navigate that season.
The season of doubt?
Yeah.
The first thing I would like to employ, or at least impress upon the public and our youth, is that the devil is out to get you. Do you know? He is actively searching after you. In a season of doubt, see it for exactly what it is. This is not happenstance. This is not, this is happening, but it's not happening by chance. The devil is placing cards and players in front of you to literally break you down so you don't know who you are, you don't know your purpose, and you don't know where you're going. from the time confusion sets in and you let it soak in, God's voice is really, really difficult to discern among the noise, among the voices. In a season of doubt, it always has helped me to stop. It sounds so simple and maybe stupid, but stop. And I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? Why do I feel the way I feel? What happened with the situation, as in who was involved? Where did it happen? What role do I play in this situation? Yeah? And being able to identify those things allows me to say, okay, this is a clear attack. Please remember, everything happens in the spiritual before it comes to us. Do you know what I mean? So doubt is not anything random. It is very much intentional for us. Remember, God didn't give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind, of discipline. So these things are literally sent for us. In a moment of doubt, stopping to identify what is happening around you could literally help you say to yourself, okay, this is what I see, and I can respond now with prayer. Lord, give me the strength to get through this particular situation by responding X, or by not responding like Y. And it helps a bit. In addition, I feel as though acknowledging the fact that you do have community and support is important. Because in a season of doubt, you might have somebody who, you know, may not be at their best, but they could kind of say, all right, so we're doubtful together. Or we're not doing well together, but we're together because we're 2 or 3 are gathered.
Right.
Do you know? We're 2 or 3 are gathered.
Okay. I like that. So
Community and stopping.
Just pause.
Pause. Don't react.
Okay. I agree.
What you think?
Well, in terms of like looking at Habakkuk, he would have been on guard and he was waiting for a response. And so I feel like that means that he was turned towards God, or always on the lookout for God's answer.
Right.
I think the other aspect would have been he waited patiently. So there's a difference between just waiting and waiting patiently. It's there's a difference in terms of attitude, and I think in just waiting, you're just like, well, I just waited, I real vexed, and I just waiting for God to answer me. When you're waiting patiently, you have a humble spirit, right? And you are almost preparing for to receive his response.
I'm ready.
You could also listen, read, memorize, and reflect on God's words and promises.
Yeah.
Because when we read his word, we get to know who God is. We get to know his character. And when we know who someone is, it is easier for us to trust them, right? Even when they are silent, we would say to ourselves, there must be a good reason that this person is, being silent. Sure. And in another verse, he would have turned to God's past amazing works, and he would have used that to be like, you know what, God has got me in the past, and I'm sure that he will come through again.
Yeah.
I
love that.
You love that? Thanks, girl. Okay, so this essentially brings us to the end of this episode. There was just one last point, I think, which will be explored in the following episodes, where Habakkuk at the end of chapter 3 was able to essentially say that whether or not God came through, that he would operate from a place of joy and from a place of faith. That is tough. And so in the next few episodes, I look forward to exploring, how we can say, like Habakkuk, though the cherry does not blossom and there are no calves in the field.
In the field, yeah.
Yet,
in the field.
Yes, yet I will trust him.
Tree.
The figs in the tree, yeah. Yet I will trust him.
Before I see the sun, I know the battle's won. When the rain has just begun, I know the devil just lost one. Before this night is done, straight to you, Lord, I would run. A greater love, no, there is none. Yeah, the devil just lost one. Before I see the sun, I know the battle's won. When the rain has just begun, know the devil just lost one. See, the battle is done. Straight to you, Lord, I would run. tears, no more tears, no more tears. I will trust in you, Lord. So the devil just lost one. Oh.